Russian journalist s.hot and k.illed in Ukrainian capital. Kiev, Ukraine. A Russian journalist harshly critical of the Kremlin was shot and killed in the Ukrainian capital Tuesday, and the national police said he apparently was targeted because of his work. Ukrainian police said Arkady Babchenko's wife found him bleeding at their apartment building in Kiev and called an ambulance, but Babchenko died on the way to a hospital. Police said he died of multiple gunshots wounds to his back. The first and the most obvious version is his professional activities, Kiev Police Chief Andriy Krishchenko said in televised comments. Harlem Desir, the media freedom representative at the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, said he was horrified by Babchenko's death. "I call on Ukraine authorities to conduct immediate and full investigation," he tweeted. The Committee to Protect Journalists in New York said on Twitter that Ukrainian authorities should conduct a swift and thorough investigation into Babchenko's murder. Babchenko, 41, was scathingly critical of the Kremlin's policies, assailing Moscow's annexation of Crimea, its support for separatist insurgents in eastern Ukraine and the Russian campaign in Syria. Ukrainian and Russian officials immediately traded finger-pointing over his death. Arkady Babchenko, a Ukrainian lawmaker who serves as an advisor to the interior minister, said on Facebook that investigators would be looking at Russian spy agencies' efforts to get rid of those who are trying to tell the truth about what is going on in Russia and Ukraine. Babchenko said Babchenko's killer was waiting for him on the staircase inside the journalist's building and shot him in the back as he was going out to buy bread. In Moscow, officials and lawmakers criticized Ukrainian authorities for their alleged failure to protect journalists. Ukraine is becoming the most dangerous country for reporters, Russian lawmaker Yevgeny Rivnenko said in remarks carried by the state RIA Novosti news agency. The Ukrainian government can't guarantee basic freedoms. Another renowned journalist, Pavel Shremet, a native of Belarus who had worked for Russian media outlets in the past, was killed in a car bombing in central Kiev in July 2016. The case has remained unsolved. In March 2017, renegade Russian lawmaker Denis Voronkov was shot and killed at the entrance of an upscale hotel in Kiev. Ukrainian prosecutors alleged that Voronkov, who had towed the Kremlin line while serving as a Russian lawmaker but turned into a Kremlin critic after his 2016 move to Ukraine, was killed on orders from a Russian crime lord. Babchenko served in the Russian army and fought during the first separatist war in Chechnya during the 1990s. He later became a journalist and worked as a military correspondent for several Russian media outlets. He also published several books based on his wartime experiences. Some of his articles and posts outraged many Russians. In one, he said he felt no regret about the deaths of Russian Army choir members and others from a December 2016 plane crash as they were heading to perform before Russian troops in Syria. Some even called for stripping Babchenko of his Russian citizenship. Babchenko left Russia in February 2017, saying he was receiving threats and concerned he might be jailed. He moved to Kiev last fall, where he worked as a host for the Crimean Tatar TV station, ATR. More, Russian ex-spy and daughter poisoned with nerve agent, police say.